it is your girl, the one and the only Spicy, and I'm here today with another pick a card reading. And for today's reading, we're going to be looking at messages from your future self, but we're going to be focusing more so on money. So what does your future self have to say about your money? This can also extend into like career or business, but we just going to see what the cards have to say. But this is really just about money. Like, if you've been experiencing money issues, maybe your future self will tell you that, you know, things are going to get better, that things are going to progress. If you don't experience any money issues, then maybe your future self will tell you that things are really about to level up again, even more. So we're going to get into that. And I'm so grateful and blessed to be here, y'all. So shout outs to y'all if you are a returning viewer. Shout outs to you. If you're new, then welcome to my channel. Please make sure that you check the description box. You know, I have a lot of information in there as far as where you can reach me if you would like to schedule a personal reading, and then also just about the different services that I provide. One of the most important services and the service that I love the most that I'm providing right now at this time is personally mentoring individuals that would like to learn how to invest for financial freedom and for generational wealth. So I definitely encourage you to check me out on Instagram. I'm very active over there. If you would like to see how I move in real time and who I am, then I would definitely encourage you to check me out at Instagram at Spicy Bee Soup. But as I said, all of that information is in my description box. So essentially how this reading is going to work is you're going to pause the video if you would like to look at which pile, this is pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, to see which pile that you feel like resonates with you the most. You could look at the artwork of the tarot cards, or you could even look at the gems, or the crystals rather, to see which one that you feel the most attracted to. And then you'll go to the timestamps in the description box and just click the time, and it'll jump you essentially to your reading. So it'll take you rather. So with that being said, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I hope you all enjoy this reading and that you have a blessed day. All right, for my pile 1 people that chose the Cosmic Tarot deck with the selenite crystal, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this reading right now. I'm gonna go ahead and get started, y'all. Now, the topic of this reading today is messages from your future self. That is the topic for the reading today. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for what Spirit has to say. This is money messages from your future self. So first and foremost, we're going to be looking at, you know, what is your future self acknowledging right now at this time? What is your future self acknowledging? All right, so I kind of already picked up on the messages as I was shuffling anyway. And I always say this, but then as I keep going, it's like the message is even more confirmed and whatnot. But I mean, a lot of y'all, I feel like you're not 100% in harmony with whatever it is that you're doing for money. You're not essentially 100% in harmony with it. And I think because you're not essentially in harmony with it, it really does affect your own personal earning potential. So a lot of you all are, I don't want to say that you're struggling. It's just the fact that as far as when it comes to money and your ability to attain it, it's like, it's really slowly moving. So I wouldn't say that you're completely broke or you're completely destitute or you're living in poverty. It's just a simple fact that for you all specifically, for whatever it is that you want to do or for the type of money that you really want, because it's really showing you all that it's like you do have the ability to be a business owner. Like, you do have that potential. You have the capabilities to do so. And you have the capabilities to be led by passion. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you would be that type of person who would be more suited to be an investor. You know, someone who, you might not necessarily have to know everything about the project, everything about the business opportunity, everything about it. But if you feel passionate about it, it's something that you feel drawn to. At least you know that you'll have the finances to be able to back that idea to keep things consistently moving. You know what I'm trying to say? Now, the issue with you all right now is the fact that you're not in 100% harmony with whatever it is that you're doing for money, or essentially what you want to do for money. You're not 100% in harmony and balance with it. A lot of you all may not really like you may not really like it. Yeah, you may not really like it. So whether this be a job, you're not really satisfied with being at that job. Yeah, whether it be a job, you're not really satisfied about being at that job. Like I was saying, a lot of you are really just want to drop that burden and drop that responsibility that comes with this type of work that you're doing, or wherever you're putting your time and attention to. You know, now this is something that you want to do, but you're not necessarily sure how you're gonna do it. Don't even think about the how. Just think more so about how doing that thing will make you feel, you know. And the point is for you to love what you do. The point is for you to have an admiration for whatever it is that you're doing, as opposed to seeing what you're doing as just being so emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, just holistically taxing on your body and on your being. So if this is something that you're currently doing now and you're not really in harmony with, like, your future self would just acknowledge, like, you know, maybe it's best that you let that thing go, because it's not really allowing you to experience the full gamut of what you could be experiencing financially. And if you are making gains, it's like it's slowly moving gains. It's not you know, a influx constantly of the type of money that you really actually truly want. So a lot of you all may have to let this go, sacrifice this thing so that you can have something better. Or if this is something that you would like to get into, then you might have to let go of your preconceived notions about what you think that thing is, and just immerse yourself into it, so you can actually begin to have an admiration for it, that you can begin to be in harmony, that you can begin to be in balance with it, so that you can receive the gains that you really actually truly want, you know. So it's really going to come down to a lot of you all having to let go, you know, whether that be letting go of your preconceived notions, or whether that be letting go of something that just no longer really applies to you anymore. You know, it's really about you being able to exhibit, you know, you being able to get over the hot and coldness of whatever it is that you're doing. You want to be in a place to where you're passionate about this thing, you're driven, and you're on one accord with what this thing is. So yeah, a lot of you all just aren't really being emotionally fulfilled by the type of work that you're doing, or just even as far as the type of money that you're making. I don't think that you're satisfied. Yeah, you're not satisfied, and it definitely just causes you a lot of anxiety when you think about the action and what you have to do to get there. And it's really gonna have to cause you to feel okay with transforming. Like, it's okay to transform. It's okay to realize that something no longer works for you anymore, and you have to shed that old layer of who you are. It's okay, because if you don't do that, and your soul being is calling for you to do that, your future self is calling for you to do this, it's like you're keeping yourself in a state of anxiety and potentially confusion, and potentially just just having a backup. It's like things are being backed up, if that makes sense. Instead of you just allowing yourself to go with the flow, it's like things are being backed up, and it's like you don't want to suppress yourself and put yourself into that state of anxiety, which could eventually become depression, because you're suppressing that fear, that anxiety, and that worry. You got to just let it go, and choose the path of least resistance. Choose the path of least resistance. So if you know that you're in a job, and you know that it's like, if you took the money aspect out of it, if you took the money aspect out of it that you was receiving from this job, the stability aspect out of it, like, would you still be doing that job? Like, if the job was just like, okay, well, like, let's say the world, something happened with the world tomorrow, and it was just like, okay, well, money is, we're not, money isn't a requirement to do and get anything. You know what I'm trying to say? And let's say money wasn't a thing and we were all just living, and it's like, would you still be doing that job if money wasn't a thing? You know what I'm trying to say? So it's just really about freeing yourself, and that's really what your future self would like for you to do, so that you can acknowledge that you actually do have things that you are passionate about. You actually do have things that make you feel driven, things that you care about, and you actually can make the type of money that you want to make from spending time doing those things, as opposed to selling yourself short, holding on to something that doesn't apply to you anymore, or even holding on to things that don't apply to you anymore, refusing to let those things go for a sense of stability, and whatnot. Or maybe, you stopping yourself before you can even get to get to the promised land. So whether this be a new idea or a new opportunity, is like, don't stop yourself by going back into stability, into safety. Don't stop yourself. Like, throw your heart over the bar and the rest of your body will follow. So that's basically what I'm trying to say. Just don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. Yeah, a lot of you all have the potential to be independent. A lot of you all have the potential to have everything that you need, to have the type of beauty surrounding you that you actually really want. It's just a simple fact that you could be putting yourselves in codependent type of situations. You could be, doing things for money that don't really make you feel really empowered, that don't really make you feel beautiful, that don't really make you feel like your best self. And I do feel as though your future self really wants you to acknowledge that this is where you are right now, and there's nothing wrong with that. We've all had to be in some type of unfavorable situation, so that sacred witness within us could tell us, like, yo, like, this isn't right for you. I'm trying to say, that's the point of the sacred witness, to tell you what's right and what feels right to you and what does not feel right to you, based on your levels of satisfaction and dissatisfaction. So yeah, your future self wants to tell you that you have so much potential, but you could potentially be selling yourself short, and it's time for you to let some stuff go, so that you can really step into your independent self. You really have to. So you might have to give up some things and sacrifice, but understand that when you sacrifice something, something better is always gonna come into play, because you've energetically recognized that this thing is just not for you. You've sent those messages off into the universe, and now the universe is like, all right, well, she not really feeling this. Oh, she gonna make a change, he gonna make a change, they gonna make a change. All right, well, we gotta change with how they're moving. So the universe gonna move how you move. So let's go ahead and see, how would your future self like you to be when it comes to this bread? Like, when it comes to this shmoney. Yes, beauty. Like, your future self, like, with your bread, your future self wants to tell you, like, you'll, like, with this bread that you will amass, especially if you believe this, it's like your future self is telling you that, like, your money is going to help you to focus on your own sense of beauty, or what being beautiful means to you. A lot of you all might be, what came to mind was like late bloomers, and a lot of you all, I really believe it. Like, you will be transformed just physically on the outside by the money that you amass. The situation that you in right now, whether it be a job or the fact that you may be holding yourself back from doing actually what you really actually want to do, for money, is like, it's not really helping you to feel, like I said, empowered about yourself. And especially with the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse for what's going on with you now, and with your future self saying that, like, they eventually would like you to get to this place of beauty, is saying that what you're doing could be causing you stress. A lot of you all could even be, aging, prematurely aging, because you're essentially putting your energy into something that's dead instead of something that's lifeless. It's just not for you. So you could definitely prematurely be aging. But see, the thing is your future self is trying to tell you that, like, look, like, this is essentially where you should be. You should be basking in your wealth. You know what I'm trying to say? You should be feeling, confident about yourself. You will be working on yourself, whether that be working out, whether that be, altering your body, if that's something that you choose to do. But at the end of the day, whatever is beautiful to you is something that you will have access to, and you can utilize your money for that thing. So your future self definitely wants you to glow up. And if this is something that that you want for yourself, then why not start to take the steps towards, putting yourself where you actually really want to be, or putting yourself on that path. So the only end result is for that thing to happen. But a lot of you all too, I think that the reason why I said late bloomers is I feel like your money is also going to help you. It's going to help you with your how attractive that you are. And you might also have even more romantic suitors, or people that just fall in love with you because of how you're able to now focus and take care of yourself. And anxiety and stress definitely ages people. It really does. Anxiety and stress really does. So we also have nurturer. Yeah, your future self, because I feel like because you don't because you might be dealing with just anxieties, and then also having issues with letting go, especially when it comes to your money, having issues. You may not have as much bread right now to do what you really can for others, because I do see that even though you don't really like what you're doing, or there's a disconnect between what you're doing and what you really want to do, you do have a very nurturing type of energy behind you. You may have a family too. You may be a parent. You may be a single mom. And it's like you have kids and you have family members that you really want to be able to take care of, and your future self is letting you know that, like, you ideally you will be in a place to where you can take care of other people, especially with that Queen of Pentacles right there. You will be in a place to where you may have a partner that you can take care of. You will have a stable home that you can take care of, and you'll still be passionate. It's like you're still gonna have this youthful type of energy about you, because all is well in the world and all is well with your bank account. You feel me? So you will definitely be able to not only help with the attractiveness of yourself, but you'll be able to make sure that the people around you are fed and sustained, and they have what they need. Yes. And then we also have radical acceptance. And the fact of the matter is that your future self will really like you to understand that, like, regardless of what you decide to do, regardless of what you decide to do, regardless of what fuels you and makes you feel passionate, it's like you're gonna have to accept that, this is for you. Are you gonna keep yourself where you are right now and keep experiencing anxiety because you need stability? Are you gonna keep allowing your money to come to you slowly because you haven't yet decided to take that first step in this long journey? And the path might be arduous, but if you're not taking the steps, then it's like, how are things going to happen in the way in which they're made to happen for you? You feel me? So it's really going to come down to you radically accepting that that essentially where you are right now, it may not be the best place, but it's okay. It's all right, because now at least you can pivot. Now at least you can reroute. That's what happens when you're driving with a GPS and you don't make that turn. What does the GPS do? It reroutes you to make sure that you're still getting to where you are. So now's about time for you to really accept, radically accept. And when you radically accept something, it doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter what your current results are. It doesn't matter anything. If you say that you want better, you want to do better, and you want to have more, then radically accept that that's how you feel and go get what you want. Now our future self, our future selves, your future self is gonna give you some advice or encouragement. And here they say, what do you need to release? So I'm gonna just let you answer that question for yourself. What is it that you need to release? Because this is a general reading, so it could be different for everybody. You feel me? It could be different for everybody. You could be in a relationship that's stopping you from getting this bread. Okay. You could be dealing with family members that stop you from getting the bread. You know, it's really up to you. So however which way it applies to you, it doesn't just have to be a job. It could also be a relationship that might be hindering your progress. And then here we have your future self is telling you that the end of a tough cycle approaches. The end of a tough cycle approaches. So it's really going to come down to you all planning. And I definitely see here as well, it's definitely going to come down to you all planning so that things can start to come to you more easily and whatnot. So yeah, planning, that's definitely something that you need. Come up with your plan A, and your plan B should be plan A. Especially if you're an entrepreneur. So just start to actually come up with plans and start to actually immerse yourself into the place that you might be holding yourself back from. You know, just immerse yourself and don't just get in there and be like, oh, it'd be nice to have this and have that. Be like, well, I want that, so how can I get it? It's not it would be nice. It's not nice until you get it and you start to feel those emotions that you want to feel. Like, so just be real with yourself. Be real with yourself. But yeah, your future self is letting you know that you know, there are things that you need to release, and this tough cycle that you're dealing with this anxiety, with the codependency, maybe not feeling empowered, it's about to end. All right, so your future self says surrender stress. Take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. That's very applicable since you all were dealing with some anxieties, and then we and definitely holding yourself back from transforming how you should. And then we have surrender to play. Take a break from overthinking a goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. Yes, like you all do have a very youthful, childlike type of energy about you. So I would definitely say that, you know, even when you're exploring your goals and dreams or this other thing that you want to do for money, like have fun with it. You know what I'm trying to say? Not only be imaginative, think about the possibilities of things that you can do, but of course take determined action. You feel what I'm trying to say? Start to take some action steps. But in general, this is just saying, like, y'all gotta relax. You know, you have to calm down and start to focus more so on getting into harmony and getting into balance with what you actually really want to do. And it's okay to let things go that don't satisfy you anymore. It's okay to do that. But yeah, y'all, with that being said, this was your girl, the one and the only Spicy. Please make sure that you like, comment, and share. And I will see you in the next reading. Hey, my pile 2 people. If you chose the Mystic Mondays tarot deck with the amethyst, I'm going to go ahead and get started with your reading. We're going to be looking at money messages from your future self. So this is you in the future. I didn't even specify like, oh, how many years in the future. We don't know. Shoot. This is messages from your future self. Okay. And specifically money messages. So we're just going to be looking at like, what is your future self acknowledging within you right now at this present moment, you know? Oops. Yeah. It's just so funny because it's like I mean, it's like the more and more I read tarot, it's like, let me get y'all an extra card since the extra card came out for the first group. But it's like the more and more I read tarot, it's like the easier it becomes to literally know what the message is going to be, like, as soon as I start shuffling. But for the most part, a lot of you all just really want to rush to the finish line. So you are definitely ambitious, I can tell you that. Yeah, you are definitely someone who, once you get a spark of an idea, it's like you're ready to go. It doesn't matter about the logistics. It doesn't matter about, well, I need to figure this out, or this needs to be figured this out this way, or this way has to be perfect. It's like you're not really that type of person at all. You just like, no, I got a spark of an idea and I'm going to jump on it. That's the type of energy that you have, especially when it comes to money. It's like, if I get a money making idea, I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on Google. I'm researching. I'm doing what I have to do. Okay. But a lot of you are rushing forward. You're rushing forward. And I can definitely admire you for that passion, and you just wanted to jump into things. But I feel like your future self is acknowledging that it would really benefit you to take your time to actually hash things out before you move on. So you might be that person that, yeah, just because you're passionate about it, you do it, but then that's it. And it's just like, but you can actually continue to further develop that idea and to further develop that thought and to hash it out so that it comes into fruition in its full capacity. You know what I'm trying to say? The idea that I got was, for example, if someone decided that all of a sudden they wanted to start selling their old clothes, and they just sold their old clothes. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, if you continue to further hash that thing out, you could probably start to resell stuff. Like, you could have a thrift store, you could have an online shop, you could have, auctions. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like you can continue to keep further developing and hashing out that thought and idea. Everything doesn't have to be a one and done. Okay, now I'm getting to the finish line, I'm getting to the end. It's like some ideas actually do benefit from you continuing to develop them and you continue to hash them out. So it's just saying that a lot of you all, oh yeah, and also just addressing your future self is just addressing that there's a lot of things that you are passionate about, but you're not done with them. Like, yeah, essentially what I was saying, like, the idea is not done. So a lot of you all might have unfinished projects, and your future self is definitely telling you, like, it would be best for you to go back to those initial passion projects and actually start to hash them out and have some patience. Some things, some ideas don't really come into fruition instantly. You know what I'm trying to say? So have some patience. Don't think that you're going to be able to take the microwave route to success, and to having something that is timeless, and to having something that is built on a firm foundation. You might have to take some time to focus on that foundation and to focus on actually watering that seed, as opposed to you create something and, oh, that's it. No, like, continue to keep further hashing this thing out, because you would benefit from giving it a very strong and firm foundation so that it becomes timeless. Yeah, like, a lot of you all, is going to be very important for you to understand that as you're setting out on this path that you're setting out on, that there is actual true fulfillment that can be found from whatever it is that you're doing. But it's probably going to take you having to do even more research into that thing, or just trying to become even more knowledgeable about whatever that thing is, so that you can find something that you completely love about it. A lot of you are passionate, but you might be that type of person that just might jump on trendy waves that you think are trending, but you're doing the trendy thing, but you never actually find something that makes you feel connected to it. And it's about interconnectedness. It's about interconnectedness. It's like, do you feel connected to what it is that you're doing? This came up in pile 1. It's like, do you feel like you're in harmony and in balance with what this thing is? And it's okay. You have to set out on that path. You have to set out on that path and be willing to learn and be willing to be flexible, and think about sustainability and moderation. How can you moderately, sustain yourself so that you're still moving forward, accomplishing your goals, but you're still hashing these things out so that you can get this bread. A lot of you all have to think about the long haul. It's not just about instant gratification. When it comes down to money and the fact that you're showing up as the King of Pentacles, it's like you're really gonna have to abandon that idea of impatience and just understand that as long as you're doing a little bit of something every single day as you go along, it's gonna add up to something great. So whether that be, if you're a content creator, dropping stuff as you go along, as opposed to feeling like you just have to have everything together, or as an entrepreneur, the same way, but doing stuff little by little, but not completely abandoning that thing. Just continue, just revisit those things in which you may have abandoned and continue to hash those things out further. Let's see. Yeah, your future self is definitely acknowledging that you are feeling that at times you may not feel like your best self, or at times you may feel as though you're not enough. You're not enough, or I feel like you might feel as though like you kind of have to be. It's like an air of mystery, where it's like you drop one thing little by little, over time, and it's just like, which is good, but it's like, what I'm saying is like, a lot of you all might not be attached. This is what I'm trying to say. You might not be attached to those projects and things that you do. And it's time for you to really start to attach yourself to what you're doing. It's not just about the passion, but it's about the timelessness. And a lot of you all might not attach yourself to what you do because you might not feel just confident about what it is. Like, you're passionate about what you do, but you may not feel as confident for maybe people to get to know you. What I'm trying to say? Like, especially if you have a brand, if you're an entrepreneur, you may not be, as confident and have the self-esteem for people to, to get to know who you actually really are. Or you may feel as though you have to pretend to be someone that you're not, for people to like you and for people to admire you. And to that, I'll say, be you, be yourself. When you drop these projects, you have these little passion projects that you put out there, put yourself into it. I'm trying to say, so that people can also feel connected to you as well. And this came up in a previous reading, I believe, to where it's just like, people may not know what your vision is, but it's important because, especially if you know that you want to sell things, if you know that you want to provide some type of service or some type of item for money, it's like, people are going to want to be connected to the person behind it, to the idea, to the story behind the brand. You feel me? So your higher self is definitely saying that, the money is definitely possible to you. It's going to come down to you being like connected to whatever it is that you do. And it's also going to come down to you not trying to take the instant gratification type of route. A lot of you all are afraid to be confident and to show who you are. I feel like, for some reason I got like you've been trolled, or people try to make you believe that what you're doing isn't right, or people have tried to stop you. So you might feel a little scared to put yourself out there. But the one thing I can definitely say is there's a hypervigilance. Your future self is trying to let you know that there's a hypervigilance to you, to where you can't give up. Your future self is acknowledging that, like, you're a resilient person. You cannot give up. I'm trying to say, you can't give up, regardless of if you don't feel confident, or if you don't feel at your best, or if you just want validation. Like, at the end of the day, there's a side of you that's just saying like, well, I don't care if I'm validated or not. I'm just going to go do what it is that I want to do. Like, regardless of if people haven't really taken a hold of your brand, or if people haven't taken a hold of your services, if there's no buzz surrounding you, it's like, you don't care. You're still going to take your passion, what you feel passionate about, you're still going to take it, and you're still going to, do what you got to do. And that might be why you might be a little afraid to push yourself out there, and why you want things instantly, is because maybe you tried to do this in the past and it has not worked out for you, or you haven't reached the place in which you thought you should have been. So your future self is acknowledging that. Yeah, your future self is acknowledging that. And you know, in all actuality, at the end of the day, they're saying like, you're gonna have to act, you know, you're gonna have to act. But it's also about having a sense of direction. Like, you know where you're going, and you're putting your foot on the gas, especially with the Knight of Swords. Like, because the Knights, they talk a lot about action anyway. When it comes to swords, it's really about like your intellect. It's about your integrity. It's about your mental state. You know, what's going on with you within those other faculties of the mind, and just the faculties of yourself that cannot necessarily be seen or quantified by other people. And your future self is just like, look, bruh, or look, sis, or however you want to identify. Your future self is just like, nah, like, when it comes to this bread, like, you really do have to know where you are and know where you're going, and you have to go. You have to act. The thing I like about the Knight of Swords, to me, is I really look at it more so as like, there's direction. Like, this knight knows where he's going. He's not just impulsively doing things. It's like, this is the energy that you call in when you're like, okay, I've identified what it is that I want. So what energy is going to help you get there? The Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is going to help you get there. So yeah, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the Goddess deck, and we're gonna look at, you know, where your future self ideally would like you to be. So just what you can expect. What you can expect. All right, so we have illusion. We have illusion. And this really, when I see this card, it really just tells me that all is not what it seems. You know, all is not what it seems. So in all actuality, you may really have to deceive and lie to yourself. Deceive and lie to yourself so that you can get to where you need to get, you know. Tell yourself that, look, like, I mean, it's better to be prepared for the long haul than to not be sustainable and think that things are just going to come to you like just like that, you know, without you even having to do much. So it's better for you to understand that you have to be prepared for the long haul, because what it is that you have the ability to do and have the ability to become, or where you see yourself being, is the King of Pentacles. Now, this is when it comes to business, when it comes to money, like, in my opinion, this is like the ultimate card. Like, look at this gentleman. He's in his old age. You know, he's in his old age. He's in his suit, but he's still prim and proper. Like, this is timelessness, especially if you're a younger person. This is you creating a legacy, and you creating a generational wealth for your family, for people to come after you. This is what the King of Pentacles represents. He's a sturdy, he's a strong figure. And when it comes down to business dealings and negotiations, he gets what he wants. So a lot of you are definitely going to have to, you know, you might have to lie to yourself. You might have to deceive yourself, but understand that it's all within, not just divine timing, but it's all within, within reason. You know, it's not like you're deceiving yourself in a negative way. You might just have to, you know, tell yourself, like, look, you might be one of those people that understands that you like instant gratification, and you have to tell yourself, like, look, things may not come to me instantly, and am I going to be okay with that? You feel me? It's like, are you going to be fine with that? Especially with the Princess of Pentacles. That's letting me know that, you know, the journey that you're taking, it may be arduous. It may be long. You may not like it. You may not like it, but through this journey, you're going to learn what you need to learn. I can tell you that. You're going to learn what you should be learning. I can tell you that. And that's what your higher self wants to let you know. It's like, you can't take the microwave route to get in the money that you want. You're really going to have to take the oven route, which calls for you to actually hash things out to completion. You know, don't just drop something and it's like, oh, that's that. No, hash it out into completion. You know, keep going. Don't just stop. And then we have knowledge. Yeah, I was just talking about this. Like, your path is going to give you the information that you need. It's going to give you the knowledge that you need, and the wisdom that you need, especially to ensure that you're never broke again, to ensure that you get what you need, to ensure that you don't abandon yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? To ensure that you get the money that you need. So definitely lean on your intuition, and also lean into opportunities, because an opportunity, no matter if you perceive it to be good or bad, there's going to be a silver lining within that opportunity, within that circumstance or situation, that is going to teach you something that you may never have known before, or it just wasn't in your general awareness. It just wasn't something that you were thinking about at that time, because we have so many different thoughts and ideas and so much information that we're being bombarded with on a daily basis. So it's like, it's really going to be up to you to choosing to put energy and fuel into those thoughts, ideas, towards that information that actually truly matters and applies to you, and the rest of it, you could just leave it. And then, we also have generosity. So essentially, your future self really wants you to feel empowered through being of service to others, and essentially it's not even just being of service to others, but it's also about being in service to yourself. Are you doing yourself a disservice by not watering your seeds? Are you doing yourself a disservice by thinking that you don't have to put in any type of investment to get what it is that you want? Because in all actuality, that's a disservice. Are you doing a disservice to yourself by starting multiple projects that you may not finish, or only half doing things and thinking that it's enough? And not to say, and I'm not trying to push anybody to feel like now you have to overwork and now you have to, but it's also understanding that as you're doing things for money, it's not about manipulation. It's about showing up within your full self. People will admire that, as opposed to not. Even though you went through things in the past that may have wounded you, or you might feel like you can't be yourself, or you feel like you can't 100% attach yourself to your projects or to continue to develop them. It's like, be of service to yourself, so that you can see yourself in a different place. And you're setting out on a new journey and on a new path anyway, in which you will be learning new information. So just do a service to yourself by spending the time that you need to actually watering the seed of just where you are, what I'm trying to say, and continuing to expand on what it is that you're doing, and complete things. So now I'm gonna get into the Moonology deck. I personally love this deck because it is just an amazing deck. It's just amazing. It is amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get y'all some. Oops. Having difficulties with shuffling. I'm gonna go ahead and get y'all two of these Moonology cards, and then we gonna be done for the day. But yeah, so the Moonology cards is saying nothing is yet set in stone. Nothing is yet set in stone. And like I mentioned, like I saw with the World card in reverse, it's like this isn't yet. It's not yet complete. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not yet complete. Things are still moving. Ideas that you've had, money making ideas that you've had, they haven't yet been hashed out to its full completion, to what you can actually do. And I think Moonology is just letting you know to go back and finish what you started. And then we also have step out of your comfort zone. And I think this relates more so to you all being afraid to really show up and really be yourself. Or you might be trying to sway people to look at you at a certain way, but just keep it real. Okay? Keep it real. Step out of your comfort zone and be yourself. Like, embody some of that Leo energy, which that Leo energy is all about confidence. Even if things aren't rocking the way that you thought, it's still a confidence that's there. It's still a passion that's there. It's still a need to be yourself and to show that self that's there. I'm trying to say, don't think too much about the validation from other people. Think about validating yourself. So I hope that this reading was helpful, y'all. I hope that this reading was helpful. This is your girl, the one and the only Spicy. Please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see y'all in the next reading. All right, my people that chose the Muse Tarot deck with the Rose Quartz Crystal, I'm going to go ahead and start your reading now. This is money messages from your future self. I am so grateful. I'm so thankful to be here, y'all. I love doing these readings, and I'm definitely hoping that this reading resonates with you and that you're really able to, you know, make the changes that you need to make the adjustments that you need to make in accordance with what your future self is saying. What is your future self saying? I'm gonna go ahead and get you an extra card since I did that for the piles 1 and 2. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started, y'all. So essentially, your future self really wants to let you know, well, your future self first and foremost just wants to give you some compassion. Like, they want to give you compassion, and your future self also wants to validate, you know, where you are right now, where you are. Like, and your future self is just telling you, like, as far as, especially when it comes to money, a lot of you all have experienced some really unfavorable, you know, things that have came to your money. You know, I'm trying to say, whether this be people that have stolen your money, whether you was, and I feel like it's more so even relationship based as well. Like, if it was people that stole your money, or if you were married, you went through some type of divorce, you went through, yeah. So with the Muse of Voices, I believe this is the, I want to say this is the King of Swords. I want to say it's the King of Swords, but I'm not 100% sure. But I will find out right now, because I think the Muse of Voices is the King of Swords. And the fact of the matter is that a lot of you all have definitely, you know, went through some type of legal situations when it's come to money, whether you had to pay out large amounts of money, or whether you were in a divorce, you were in a relationship with someone, and they ended up taking your money. You could have just been in a relationship in general, or had to deal with some type of loss, some type of L, like, or for some reason I feel like you all were waiting on some type of settlement or something as well. But it's just the fact of the matter is that, you know, in your recent past, or even currently, you could just be dealing with something unfavorable when it comes to money. I'm also getting too that some of you all could be parents, and you have to deal with like with money, or with your kids not being able to get the money that you need. So you've always been constantly waiting on some type of support that just was never gonna happen. You waiting on some type of support that's never gonna happen. And yes, this is the King of Swords. You're waiting on some type of support that is just never gonna happen, and it's sad and it's unfortunate, because you really are the type of person that does stand on truth. You are the type of person that does stand on you know, things being, you know, based in reality. Like, this is something that is really actually happening, and it sucks because you haven't gotten the fair share of what you actually deserve. Now, I can't say that your future self has acknowledged the fact that you've been waiting, and that you've had some type of hope, you know, that you, or optimism that you put into this period of waiting. But your future self also can't deny that at other times you don't feel empowered. At other times you do begin to feel depressed. At other times you feel like you're not at your best place to not only take action, but to have a sense of direction and to know where you're going. Now you do find some confusion as far as the just really not knowing, maybe not knowing what to do or which direction to take, because of this, you just things just have not been fair to you. Things had just not been fair to you. And it's unfortunate too. That's why your future self is just trying to give you some compassion. It's unfortunate too, because the fact that you haven't been able to decide on what it is that you want, it's been stepping in the way of the potential of who you actually could be. So I really do empathize with you in the fact that you haven't gotten what you truly deserved when it comes to money, especially if you're waiting on someone else. You haven't really got what you truly deserve when it's come to money. And a lot of you all may have concerned yourself too much with other people, and that's something that has made you depressed instead of just going within and focusing on what you could personally do. So now you're confused. Now you don't know where to go. Now you don't know how to act, because you may be basing too much responsibility on another person, or you may have been just basing too much responsibility on another person to help signify to you when it's time for you to move on and do what you need to do for yourself. And I feel like this is definitely relationship inclined, and I do feel like it has to do with a breakup. Or it has to do, you could be facing some money issues when it has to do with a court case with kids, or something like that. Kids, whether it be through a divorce or whether it be through child support or something like that. It's just the fact that what you're rightfully deserved is like that thing has not come to you, because I think that it has to do with another person. I really think it has to do with another person. But your future self would be telling you that, look, you can't depend on other people to make sure that your situation is straight. That's what's making you confused. It's really going to be up to you to get with the program. It's really going to be up to you to look at the truth of the matter. It's going to be up to you to go out to find the knowledge that you need. It's going to be up to you to go develop the wisdom that you need from this experience, through this experience, so that you can apply it to your mental state, to make sure that you can decide and choose where you're going and to actually go. Like I mentioned with the Knight of Voices, this is the Knight of Swords. Like the Knight of Swords doesn't suffer from impulsivity, more so like the Knight of Wands. Like the Knight of Swords, to me, like that's like where you're going. I'm trying to say? There's direction, there's precision. Even though swords, this sword suit mostly suits air signs, I'm just getting a real Sagittarius type of vibe, where it's like precision. They're really encouraging you to be precise. And that's by knowing what you want. But even though things have not been fair for you, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to be clear and to be based in reality with yourself. What I'm trying to say? So it's really not about you waiting on someone else. It's not about you doing that. It's really about you turning your head and deciding to go your own way, and understand that you are backed by wisdom, by knowledge, and by experience. Yeah. So even though this cycle isn't yet over, even though maybe the lesson that you're learning, which is you're all that you need, maybe that lesson isn't yet done. Maybe you haven't yet exited that cycle. But in the midst of that thing, you can still be happy. In the midst of that thing, you can still be sunny. You can still have a sunny disposition and optimism towards who you could be. And even signaling that to you through this reading is like, even if things may not be the way that you would really like it to be, even if you may be going back and forth with somebody, it has to do with money, it's like, understand that as long as you remain positive, optimistic, and sunny, like money and that energy is gonna be attracted to that, because that's what money is. Money is energetically attracted to happiness. Money isn't attracted to destitution. Money isn't attracted to stress and anxiety. And when you look around, you can see that many people that are living in poverty are stressed, are anxious about how they're going to get things paid for. And then when you look at people that are wealthy, it's like they're happy. They don't have to worry about how things are going to get paid for because the money's there. And you can't say that the money is the root of that happiness, but happiness is the root of that, the money energetically coming to them. So regardless of what your financial situation is or what you're going through, just remain happy. Remain happy, remain positive, and remain optimistic. Like you all have the Queen of Pentacles energy that is very present, and it's a little dormant. It's a little dormant right now, but I do believe that as soon as your future self is saying that as soon as you figure out what it is that you want, as soon as you start to move forward and operate off of a sense of integrity, but just for yourself, doesn't have nothing to do with this other person or what else is going on outside of you, then you will start to see that that things will change. Yes, yeah, y'all, it's really time for y'all to lay down some stuff that doesn't have nothing to do with you. So if you are dealing with a situation with another person and just dealing with that, and you see that your money situation not really working out because you keep putting, what's it called? You keep putting time, energy, and attention into something that's clearly not working out for you, is like it's going to be time for you to let that thing go. Stop being so passionate about holding on to these things that don't apply to you. Stop being so passionate about holding on to a situation that just doesn't apply to you. Yeah, go through the motions, but stop waiting, stop expecting, stop doing that. And you decide what it is that you want and continue to keep pushing forward so that you can get there, because it's causing you to feel depression by waiting on someone else. You have Queen of Pentacles energy that's backing you and it's dormant. Figure out what it is that you want so we can really tap into that energy and get this bread. Yeah, tap into what it is that you want, because it's not like you all feel, and you could be going through, you don't have as much your finances, you don't have as much money as you would really like to have. A lot of you all definitely feel like you've been wronged, and you feel like this wrong has caused you to be abandoned. Like this wrong has caused you to be destitute, has caused a lot of y'all have potentially dealt with poverty, have dealt with being destitute. And so that's why you might still be putting energy and still be waiting, hoping, wishing, that a situation is going to turn out right for you, even though you did what you were supposed to do. At the end of the day, it's only causing you to feel less than your best self. I was about to say, it's only causing you to feel broken, destitute. It's only causing you to not feel your best self. So remove yourself out of the situation and let it go. Stop being so passionate about that and start to focus on your own general happiness, so that this cycle can end and you can move on to really attaining the wealth that you know that you really want, that your future self knows that you can have. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and move on to the goddesses. Fortune. So this is where your future self wants you to be. Like Lakshmi, I always say Lakshmi, but Lakshmi energy is very much focused on, just think about the Nine of Pentacles. Just think about how independent, how beautiful, sexy, that energy is. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like you really have all that you need. So it's unfortunate that you might be dealing with the situation with another person that's just unfair and it's playing on your own, on your own personal financial situation. But like I said, it's time for you to get real and to decide what it is that you want and stop counting that option as the option and get this bread. Like Lakshmi is all about beauty and fortune. and just also great luck, and just it's just a glow up energy. To even when you have this energy present in your life, is very much a glow up, you know. So your future self wants to see you at this place, and in order to get to this place is going to cause for you to not only make a decision, but for you to feel empowered within that decision as well, which I feel like this Ace of Swords here is literally, I feel like this is opened up for you to where you now understand, like, no, like no, like I do have to operate off of what feels right to me, you know, what feels right to me, and it's the truth, because you've dealt with too much deception over here that has played a role on your financial situation, and you want the truth. Here's the revelation. Yeah, the revelation. This is what your future self wants you to do. Pay close attention to these revelations that you are seeing through this situation. Yeah, this is what's going to help you to close this cycle out, is by you literally getting real with yourself, like getting real and moving different. You know, move different. You move different once you know the truth, right? You move different once you know the truth. Here we have the past. Yeah, y'all. So it's okay to definitely look back on the past. It's okay to definitely reminisce on things. But the past is definitely important, because when you're thinking about making a change, it is important to you for you to look at, okay, like, what have I done before? Where have I been before? How was I moving in the past? And, you know, what can I do to ensure that, you know, I'm doing things different, so that I'm so that I am receiving different results. So if you want something unusual, from what I've heard, you're gonna have to move unusually. Can't do what you've done before. So let's get some advice. And that will wrap up the reading for today. Balance spirituality and practicality. So a lot of you all may have to spend some more time with spirit, or you're just gonna, it's just more so spending time with yeah, because y'all be emotional beings. It's definitely spending time with you know, just understanding that you have to have balance, you know what I'm trying to say, and really embodying both the masculine and feminine attributes when it comes down to your money and to what you want to do. So a lot of you are being called to glow up, and you do have to utilize that masculine energy of action so that you can. Your dreams need a practical plan. Yeah, that's why I'm just like, y'all have to decide. You really do have to decide on what it is that you want, and yeah, you could benefit from definitely planning. But I keep getting practicality. So stop being caught up in what you thought was supposed to be, or how you think things are supposed to go, and start looking at that for yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? Start to internalize and figure out where it is that you're gonna go. Surrender procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. Yep. And one more card. Surrender to divine timing. I feel like I mentioned divine timing in this reading. I'm not sure, because I talk a lot, y'all. But surrender to divine timing. Sometimes, oh yeah, and that could definitely apply to here with the World card. And just with things, with cycles not necessarily wrapping up, but also with that divine timing, and understanding that, you know, the best thing that you can do right now is to be happy. You know, the best thing that you can do is to understand where your future self wants you to get, so you can actually start to take the steps to get there. Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. So yeah, y'all. I definitely hope that this reading was helpful, that you found some healing messages that you can use and embody as you continue to move on and get this bread. So with that being said, please make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. This is your girl, the one and only Spicy. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, and I will see you in the next one.